Welcome to FitByFood, where we outsmart binge eating without restriction. I'm going to talk about how lessening your impressions can be a good way to combat when you fixate on food. I did a video recently where I talked about viewing your fixation on food as a compass that you are unregulated. And to build on that, because that's what I really want to do at FitByFood. I want to just build on these concepts so that you deepen your understanding of how to view your relationship with food. And to go on that, when you notice that you do fixate on snacking, you fixate on just rewarding yourself with some food, if you take that as a cue, you take that as a wake-up call that maybe I am a bit unbalanced, and you try to embrace that concept that maybe I am using food as a coping mechanism. Can you try to, instead of fixate on food, maybe you say to yourself, okay, I will eat that, but first, maybe try to check in, do I have another need? And a lot of times, it's about stress. It's that we are overwhelmed, especially nowadays where everything is so fast-paced. We have so much responsibilities and everything is so stressful. Maybe we just need a pause. So what I'm inviting you to do in this video is to check, can I limit my impressions before I snack? Before I eat whatever I fixate on, maybe I'm going to go into the kitchen and eat something that I really want to eat after I've eaten, so I know that I am nourished. It's not about not listening to your hunger, you are. But you're trying to distinguish between hunger and just fixating on food from this coping mechanism standpoint. And before you listen to that impulse and urge, can you try to sit in stillness? Lessen your impressions. Because if the first thing you do when you come home is that you scroll on your phone, watch something on TV, go and eat something, or your children are home and they're demanding so much of you, so much energy, or you're talking with someone, or just overextending your boundary, really, you might be super tired, overstimulated, and not being able to take care of yourself. So maybe you fall into the victim and want to reward yourself. Maybe that is your self-soothing mechanism, because it's easy and it tastes good. In this instance, can we lessen the impressions, lessen the stimuli, and just sit in peace and quiet? Can you do that? Could you maybe set a timer for 5 minutes and just sit in silence? You don't have to close your eyes. You just don't have to witness your breath. You don't have to do anything that you have resistance to, but just sit down for 5 minutes and look around. Even if you have people around you, maybe someone you're living with, roommates, and they're doing stuff. You don't have to tell them what you're doing. Maybe you're just sitting for 5 minutes and just experiencing your living room, just not having your phone on, like checking your phone, scrolling, because that's sending you a lot of impressions mentally and awakening associative memories, and you're just processing so much. So your overstimulated mind is more stimulated. The same with a TV, a podcast, anything that's just making you think. So we just want to lessen the impressions. So I invite you to try this. Try to see if you can lessen the stimuli. Be in a more peace and quiet before you binge. Can you invite this pause before? And if you do have resistance, remind yourself, we will still go and eat that thing, but just before. Just put the timer for 5 minutes and just sit. 5 minutes is nothing. It goes over so quickly. So it's not that much to try and explore with. And it can even be this fun little thing that you do. Try this for a week. Just explore what will happen. And then what you could do to even bring this to a next level is to reflect on how it was. What happened when you said to yourself, okay, we will eat that, but we're going to pause for 5 minutes before. If you want to take it even deeper, write it down, like on your computer or a piece of paper, just journal of how the experience was. What this does is that it creates more awareness from the impulsivity of just wanting to go for the coping mechanism, and having a bit of exploration with the more responsible side in you, and see what comes up to the surface from pausing the impulsivity. Like, what happens in this space of 5 minutes? And that is the gold. If you can try to be a bit more curious about this and see what happens, you can get so much out of it. You start to realize that that impulsivity is not the one that drives the show. It's not in control. It might have been, but it's not. And you get a bit more flexibility in your mindset. So if you're open and you feel like this could be something, 5 minutes is not that much, then try it out. And I would love if you write down below how it was for you. So thank you for watching, and remember, it is possible to get fit by food.